Shalom, all praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem El Shai, Ba'ashem El Rakah Kudash. Double honors unto the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well, and shalom to the whole full elect. This is Paya Allah, and this is News and Prophecy, Prophecy and News. I have a few articles actually on some news that happened a little while ago, but it's of great relevance nonetheless. And the first article I'll get into, I'll start with this article. It's from The Guardian, and the title reads, it's under the heading of nuclear weapons, alright, which is of great importance because they've been created for one purpose and one purpose alone. So it says, stuck in perilous moment, Doomsday clock holds at 100 seconds to midnight. The clock has been set at that time. So lucky, let me read it again. The clock has been set at that time, third year in a row, as Science and Security Board says it brings neither stability nor security. Alright? So we're in perilous times, alright? As the title reads. Read this. It's 2 Timothy 3 and 1, which reads, this know also that in the last days perilous times shall come. Alright, it spoke of a perilous moment. Alright, and that perilous moment is what? The perilous times that we're in. So this is prophecy leaping off the page. For men shall be lovers of their own selves, covetous, and that's where you got with the social media. Alright, everyone's turning into a superstar. Alright, in their own right. Covetous, boasters, proud, blasphemers, disobedient to parents. There was a video that came out just a few days ago, or yesterday I believe. I see, I forgot this guy's name, doing a review on it, where a daughter beat up her mother. Unthankful, unholy. Alright, so we're in those times. So it says, the Doomsday clock, established 75 years ago by scientists to illustrate the danger of human extinction, alright, with all these leaps and bounds being made in history, they're knocking on the door of what human extinction, alright, remains at 100 seconds to midnight, according to a panel of experts. It is the third year in a row that the clock has been set at that time, which is closer to midnight than at any period during the Cold War, including the Cuban Missile Crisis. The Bulletin of the Atomic Scientists, which curates the annual unveiling of the clock's hands, said the decision to leave them unchanged reflects that few positive developments over the course of the past year have been counterbalanced by a continued drift towards the proliferation of nuclear weapons, the climate emergency, and the rise of biological threats. Right, so basically the concoction of all things that's happening upon the earth, even with they've been trying to be balancing out nuclear talks, whatever, right, to deter, nuclear annihilation, it doesn't matter. It's still moving towards the end. Alright, the Doomsday clock is holding steady at 100 seconds to midnight, but steady is not good news, said Sharon Sequasini, a George Washington University professor and the co-chair of the Bulletin Science and Security Board, which decides the clock's hand movements each year. In fact, it reflects a judgment of the board that we are stuck in a perilous moment. Alright? Those perilous times as prophesied by Paul. One that brings neither stability nor security. Alright? And that's for these people, there's going to be no stability or security. But where is our stability and security found? In this strong tower, which is the name of the Heavenly Father, which the righteous run into and are safe, which the way you enter into that strong tower for the name of the Heavenly Father is by the word. So I read this. This is Isaiah 33, 5 and 6. The Lord Yahweh is exalted, for he dwelleth on high. He hath filled Zion with judgment and righteousness, and wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times and strength for salvation. The fear of the Lord is his treasure. Alright? So that's why these people have no stability. But we find grace and mercy through his truth, alright, which is our stabilizers in this perilous time. that we're living in. But these people are going to be left out in the lurch, basically. But mind you, in saying that, it's still the time of Jacob's trouble, all right? Where it's our final temptation, our final trial of faith. But also it spoke of as what the eye of temptation, all right, which is going to try all that dwell upon the earth, all right, and they're going to be eliminated accordingly, all right, to their judgment as set, and there's different means of death that is appointed over the people. Among the positive developments noted by the board was the decision last year to extend the New START arms control agreement between Russia and the US. But right now you're seeing the fallout of everything that's going on with Ukraine. The restart of talks over the Iran nuclear program and the coming to office in the US of an administration that believes in climate science and has pledged to act to mitigate global emissions. All right, so these are contingents that are meant to deter the impending doom. All right. Set against those trends, the board pointed to the continued investment by major powers in their nuclear arsenals, the absence of progress in the Iran nuclear discussions, and the weakness of global actions to address the climate emergency. So with all that being done, it don't matter. All right, they're basically just expounding on what they originally pointed out. The doomsday clock is not set by good intentions, but rather by evidence of action, or in this case, inaction. All right. So it's showing you that, but even though all that's happening, the reason why this is being established is because of the inaction of the elites. So let me read this quickly. 2 precepts. This is Revelation 6, and I'm going to start from verse 4. And it says, and there went out of another horse that was red, all right, who is known as the red people, Esau, Edom, all right. Edom, other one, means red, all right. This horse is their power, represents power, which is them in the power seat, and the power was given to him that sat thereon to take peace from the earth, all right. And as we read, they were talking about peace treaties and all these agreements that are being done, but what did they mention? They said inaction of these things, all right. So it says, because they're taking peace from the earth, and that they should kill one another, and it was given unto him a great sword, all right. And that's according to the blessing. And when he had opened the third seal, I heard the third beast say, come and see. And I beheld, and lo, that's the point, all right. And more so as why he's not enacting upon this, I'll read this as well. It's Revelation 12:12. Therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and the sea, for the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knoweth that ye have but a short time. All right. So reading on, it says, Scott Sagan, a political science professor at Stanford University, said, the board also drew attention to biological threats in the light of the global vulnerability highlighted by the Novid pandemic. All right, you know what it is. The fact that we have active biological weapons programs in Russia and North Korea, with China and Iran close behind, should give us pause. Not to mention that there's been a lab monkey, lost, all right, in America. All right, they managed to get the rest, kill them, and then have one, or cull them, put them down. But there was one that escaped. And one of the first responders, a female, actually said that she's ill. All right, she's developed a cough. I haven't seen any up-to-date news as of recently. But the point being is that she said, why was there no warning put in place, and that she should have a hazmat or nothing? So we're seeing the movie Outbreak play out as well in the Western world, as opposed to those nations that oppose, America, EU, and NATO. All right. So it says, Asher M. George, the executive director of the Bipartisan Commission on Biodefense, we stand on the precipice of a biological cataclysm. It will take very little more from this arena to push us right over the edge. All right. So this is where it is. All right. We're right on the cusp of it. Let me read this very quickly. This is the book of Habakkuk, chapter 2, verse 3. I'll get straight to the point. So it says, "For the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak and not lie. Though it tarry, wait for it, because it shall surely come, it will not tarry." And this is what's happening. And that's why Peter wrote of it, that you in the last days will come many scoffers, saying, where is the promise of the fathers? And for this they willingly are ignorant that one day with the Heavenly Father is 1,000 years, right? So this isn't something that's, taking its time. It's very speedy, all right? Before you know it, just how 2020 blindsided a lot of people and, changed the game. This is all the prophecies are going to do the same, all right? So let me read this. This is Isaiah 13 and 14. "And it shall be as a chase roe, and as a sheep that no man taketh up. Quick," all right? Thing. So I think that's more or less the point. I saw a little excerpt from here I wanted to just read into. I may do a follow up on this, but that's the point. This article has some information. Lord willing, I'll get into it at another moment. But for now, I pray we're edified with that. Till the next one, I say shalom. Shalom.